Yo. How we doing today? Tonight? Uh, yeah, you know, just another beautiful day in the paradise. I got all this ready. I was ready to go by like 9:20, 9:30, and then I just got distracted by YouTube shorts. You know, I'm a grown child. Should, huh. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, let's see here. Spike week. Let's see. Let's see what our exposures are. We haven't checked in a couple days. We've done 4 or 5 drafts. Just see. Our now our zeros got shortened by the other day. We had three teams that were taken. 3 players on that one team that are all zeros. I did 2 in my drafts. I only have 1 left. Might make it a short night. So I'm going to wait for about 5 minutes into the stream until I go in to the draft. Share screen. Spike a week. Let's see here. We're down to 11%. We have not been blessed with a 101. Can I see that? When was the last time I got a 101? Filter. Draft date ascending. Draft date descending is what I want. Okay. When was the last time I got Jamar Chase? Oh yeah, just look him up. The last time I got him was August 2nd. So let's take this away. So August 2nd, there's how many teams are? So 4 teams, a 1. Hold on, did I pass it? Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So 7 times 4 is 28, 29. I have not gotten a first round pick in almost 30 drafts. Yeah, wild. It's wild to think about. Like, I haven't gotten the number 1 because I'm taking them every time I get the number 1 pick. I haven't gotten the 21, or I haven't gotten the first pick in 29 drafts. So 2/10 of my drafts have not been. I haven't yet to get I haven't gotten the number 1 pick. Hey, hell yeah! Hope you're doing good tonight, man. I'm doing good. Just realizing why my Jamar Chase exposure is getting demolished. We're down to our last 17 drafts, guys. It's sad. It's so sad. I don't want to do anymore because I want to save them. But the season's coming up, man. There's no point in saving them. What else? How many lines of build do I have? Jacory. Isn't it how you spell? Okay. I don't have a lot. I got one team, baby. Was that last night I drafted them? Yeah, that was 2 nights ago. So Sunday night I drafted them. What price did I get them at though? Yeah, 174. You know. A CD Lamb, Drake London start, Sage Worthy. You know, not the worst team. Actually, I kind of like this team. Oh, I also got Mason Taylor in that team. I think I was like, oh, okay. McCarr, Mason Taylor. How many Mason Taylor? I can't have him like two. So okay, my one Mason Taylor team is also my Jacory JC and my Mr. Bill team. It's also my Mr. Taylor team. I want to rename this team and call it Team Slappy. Everybody that plays these guys, I feel like are slapadoodles. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the draft. All right, share this tab instead. Switch by total prize pool. Enter. Hit enter. Jump in, boys. 1 of 12. 1 of 12. Alrighty. 5 of 12 already. I understand. Please stop showing me. 7 of 12. Holy cow. Am I that popular? Or are we just that? I don't know how there's not more drafts being done. Because anytime I jump on to do a draft, the drafts fill instantly. So I don't know how it's not going to fill in time. I haven't waited but more than a minute and a half for drafts. So let's see what we got here. Oh, we got Mr. Robert Hale at the 7 hole. Do we know anybody else? I'm gonna take that as a hot no. We don't know anybody else. We did another draft with Nate, the ball coach, earlier today. Just happened to be. I just jumped in one. I jumped in because I wanted to get at least 2 of them done, just in case like tonight. I don't feel like doing 2 tonight. I can just go to bed, wake up early because my wife's got book club. I need to be on top of my game work wise tomorrow. So get a little extra sleep because your boy has been falling asleep, not falling asleep, but dozing off at work. So it's more like around 2:30. I've been hitting a lull. I've been hitting that. Oh, I don't want to move. Still wait for that family and for 3 to. Let's discount. Hey man, well as soon as we get done with the Millie Makers, they run like crazy amounts of $3 towards the end. I was doing a bunch of $3 at the end. So what up, man? What's up? Yo, yo, yo. My third one of the day. That's that. Yeah, same. That's the only reason I'm doing. I did 2 earlier today because I want to get that discounted ticket. Same Z's. The other 2 drafts I did today. Let's see how they turned out. Joe Burrow. Justin Fields, J.J. McCarthy, Bucky Irving, David Montgomery, T.J. Tajay Spears, Chris Godwin at 126. Was this today? Oh, it doesn't have the ones from today? I'm so confused. I did two today. Maybe it doesn't have them in there. I was like, that sounds like what I did last night because I had the Mitchell Tinsley. What's up with this Bill guy? Dude, I don't understand it. Honestly, I'm not really. If you guys, if you're here at the beginning of the stream, I went and looked at all my lineups I have in the Millie Maker with him. One lineup, and it was on Sunday. I got him at 170, but I don't know, man. I'm with you. What's up with this Bill guy? You know what I mean? Let's take Gibbs here. I have one share of Bill, and I have one share of Mason Taylor, as we found out early in the stream. But I don't know, man. I don't quite understand the love for this guy. If anything, we should be giving love to Chris Rodriguez. But maybe because he doesn't have a cool name or he's not the new hot freshness, he's not getting the correct amount of love. Like if something happens to Brian, like if he gets shipped off, it's a committee backfield. It's not a backfield that looks desirable. Yes, we would love to have the workhorse for a Jaden Daniels led offense, right? But if Brian Robinson's not there, one, it's already a messy offense with him there, but we can kind of count on him being the touchdown goal line back for or the 20-20 runner at least. And with him gone, that brings in Bill and it brings in Chris Rodriguez and Austin Eckler. I think it's a trio of running backs. It's not just one. And I don't feel like that's going to be what you want on your week to week teams, if that makes any sense. Honestly, I'd rather have I don't quite get it. I understand the thought process. Like everybody's like, oh, he's fast. The dude, I mean, that's essentially the same kind of run that Najee won me $1 million on. Was that nobody really touched him and he broke out into the open field and nobody could catch him. So, like, I don't know, man. I'm not falling for it. I get it. I'm not going to say I'm right because I don't know. But after that, man, the guy had like 10, 15 yards on like 7 or 8 more carries. It wasn't like impressive. If anybody was impressive, it was Chris Rod. Hell yeah. I was thought about going Jefferson there because that's where my ranks had it. But I'm still at 20%, and Gibbs is at 7%. I thought about taking Nico, pulling him up. Let me read that when I get back. So I'm over the weight on every single one of my next set of players, except for Josh Jacobs. But I want Bucky Irving. So yep, I'm with you. I'm not reaching for him at this point. I agree. Even though I nearly have 0 shares of him. Yeah. I got my one share because I did reach for him at 170 because his ADP was still technically at 2, I think it was 211 or 2 something. And so I was like, I'll grab him here. I'll have my one share. And if he's Kyron Williams again, I up. It is what it is. I moved Bill around Eckler in my rankings. Yeah, I have him at in the 150 range. I had him, or maybe I don't. I don't know. Actually, I could be wrong. Let's see here. Running backs. 130 range. I have him around right behind Ray Davis. So technically I should get him more, but honestly, I have in the drafts that I've been in, he's been gone, or I've already drafted 5 running backs, kind of deal. So I'm not stressing it. Jamar Chase, Lamar Jackson, Trey McBride. Solid. I want more Hampton. Let me have more Hampton. Hi TRB. Oh, so I've never had a. That's interesting. I didn't know I didn't have. I didn't have any. I never had a Bucky Irving, Jamar Gibbs, Jameer Gibbs. See, yeah, and I like Jameer Gibbs. I just like Jefferson better. I've been addicted to high tea. Um, oh, uh, have you stopped drafting Amari Hampton because of ADP's risen so high? No. There's been a phrase that gets brought up after the season gets going is that the players that rise sometimes don't rise enough. And I don't want to be holding a 20% bag of Marion Hampton. I'd rather rise him up where I think he should go, which is at the 2-3 turn. I'm set to sit him all the way to 25, right behind, JT, Bucky, that range. So I'd rather raise him up that high than take him than not get more of him. And then he had a slight downgrade because the coaching said, well, they're not going to just give him the full workload, but they might based on what they see out of Kamani Vidal and Hassan Haskins. Let's be honest. Only because you've already claimed your fair share is so much better value. Yeah, I agree. Yes, but it's not always just about the value, which the value is that I have on those teams is amazing. But the fact that I think he's a top tier player, and I think that he's still better than the majority of the players that he goes next to. Uh, just like I would chase up T Mac all the way up to the third. Also, T Mac's not that far behind American Hampton in my book. If I was to, when the season ends and I win 2 million and I look back, I'm like, honestly, I wanted as much T Mac and as Marion Hampton as I could have. They're both rookies that are going to have a legit starting role immediately. I think that's what you want out of your rookies that can be bell cows. I mean, obviously Hampton or maybe T Mac Folsom, with that little injury risk or not little Q tag since the signing. Yeah, I'm a little. If I have Herbert, I go out and get Keenan now. But if I don't have Herbert, I'm not going out of my way to get Keenan. Does that make sense? Najee's not cooked though. Until he gets any content, look, I still have 40+% because I have drafted him so much. So, I would love to say no, he's not cooked because big supporter here of our guy Naj, but man, it doesn't look good. It does not look good. Let's take Devontae Smith, and then if Jalen Hurts falls back to me, he falls back to me. If not, we'll take Rashee Rice. See, this is how you play with the board. The board says to technically should go Jalen Hurts first. right? But if he doesn't make it back to me, then I don't get him. You know, I really play the board this way. Did T Mac go in front of me? Right for okay, he went 2 picks in front of me. Went to our boy Robert Hale. God, forgot that you were in the lobby. Ah, ah. Look, there's nothing wrong with T Mac in my estimation. I feel like they're trying to like bring him in before the season starts. You know, oh, he's a little dinged up. He's not playing that week 3 preseason game. He's gonna be good to go. Oh, da 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 da. Jalen Hurts goes right in front of me. That's just a shame. It's okay. I'll get Rashee Rice. The goal is to get 10% Rashee Rice. We know that the teams that I'm drafting are going to be 10 wide receiver teams. So the fact that we are taking him here, knowing that we're going to get 9 other wide receivers around him, makes me feel comfortable that like I don't have to rely on him every week. Even if like even earlier, I grabbed Jordan Addison. I had Jordan Addison, Rashee Rice on the team. I still have 8 other wide receivers to go along with it. And Jordan Addison's only gone for 3 weeks. If my team can't hold off 3 weeks of production, was it going to win anyways? Like, was it that good? Because sometimes, like, I don't know, like, I think the year I won it almost by 1,000, or like, it was like 700. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have pictures and TikToks on it, right? But I don't have it on me. Like, I don't know if I can. Can I access TikTok? Tick. How do you spell tick? I just spelled it incorrectly. TikTok. Tick tock. Tick tock. I logged in the other day, I think. Yeah, I did. Maybe later. 2 messages from my wife. Profile. Let's see here. On this day, 10/26. Nah, think about it. Da, 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 da. Let's see here. Year I won it. That looks like it's a lot. Go loud. There we go. Share this tab instead. So this was the final week going into last week. I had this was my best team. I guess it doesn't show it. Almost on the clock. Share this tab instead. I'll go back to the team that where like it shows my incredible lead that I had over the other people in my lobby. Okay, so now I'm in a predicament. Not really. I've been getting more and more love with Debo and Rome since somebody took my guy for me, Ricky P, which my ownership of Ricky Pearsall has just disappeared. Maybe I should replace Ricky P with where I have Rashee Rice now that I have a respectable amount of Rashee Rice and bring back Ricky P because I haven't gotten Ricky P in months. Oh, or should have grabbed? Maybe I'll grab Pat Mahomes here. Who did you get? You got Ibuka. God damn, good pick. Ricky P went right after that. It's crazy how fast they flew up, man. It's crazy how fast they grew up. It's true though. We're taking Patty Mahomes. I don't have a lot of Pat Mahomes, so it'll probably be good to grab some of him. No. Sam Laporte is giving me a dirty eye saying I'm going to take Pat Mahomes, but I need to take Pat Mahomes. I only have 4%. I'm a Jawan guy myself. Hey, whatever floats your boat. I've always been year 2 wide receiver guy ever since I think it was the fantasy footballers talked about it, or maybe it was Matthew Berry on the ESPN's podcast. It was about 15 years ago or so, which is crazy to think that I have knowledge from like 15 years ago. But it was about that time, and they started talking about like second year wide receivers and how like they would overperform, typically. Um, and that's that. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but that's kind of why I was so high on Jamar Chase the year that he came out. It wasn't like he was a rookie, but he didn't play in the NFL or in college football the year before. He sat out because he wanted to pull a little bit of a what was his name? The guy from Ohio State, but he didn't get in. And then it was a COVID, and so he didn't play. It was a very weird situation. And I was like, okay, well, generational talent not really playing. I'm like, make it. And it's like I'm going to take this chance on Jamar Chase, on this guy, thinking that maybe he learned from that Ohio State guy. He realized, hey, can't fuck around, got to work out. Took care of himself, and I saw him at the draft. Looked like he was in shape. Didn't look like he was he gained any weight, And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna double down on this guy whenever he comes out, because I'd done one best ball season's worth of drafting, which I did like 22 drafts. It was like the $3 and like 2 milli makers. I feel you. You heard it from me, and I'll refer back to this. Juwan will outscore Ricky this year. I think Ricky is going to outscore Amon-Ra St. Brown. Ooh. Nah, I don't. Well, yeah, I'm gonna stick to that. Hot take. Ricky P outscores Amon-Ra St. Brown. You heard that this year. You heard that. So pick 92. So we got Bo Nix. Means we have a shot at Evan Ingram. If not, we grab Pat Bryant later. Now I have 2 quarterbacks from the same game. If that doesn't bother me for the Week 17 game. Again, things that reference back to the year I won it. I did have Zach Wilson and Tom Brady on the same game. Actually, Tom Brady was pushed by Zach Wilson and the Jets scoring mainly Braxton Berrios on a couple end rounds and trick plays, but scoring enough that pushed Tom Brady to have to play in the second half. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I really do believe in Ricky. If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. Well, I've been since we're gonna I think, what is it? I'll be done probably with my best ball drafts either this week or no later than next Friday. We're gonna finish up. If I don't finish it up this week, and it looks like I could like kind of extend it to next Friday, we're gonna extend it to next Friday or Thursday, and then we'll finish up that day. And the week after that, we're gonna do some. We're gonna do some of the $3 bet drafts, the $1 drafts, and have fun. And then we're gonna do like that Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm gonna do. I should have clock. Evening Grove. Let's go. Love it when I plan because I'm sticking. We're going to do like a season long bet show. We did it last year. We got a pretty good. We got Joe Mixon touchdowns. Najee hitting 1,000 yards and something like it paid me like $500 at the end of the season. So the kicker was I got like a lot of it correct, except for CMC. I put CMC to like have another monster season, and obviously he didn't even play at all the season. You know what I'm saying? So it sucked. It sucked because all those like it was like all these like the round robin parlays we were gonna pay like 2K, and yeah, that one didn't hit, and something else didn't hit. Wish I could go back and look at it. Is that a possibility? Let's see if I can look at it on my phone. All the bets are settled. We got one wrong. Damn, dude. Got one wrong. We got Brad Holmes wrong. So bet $10 won $9.70. Bet $10 won $10.82. Lost a $5 bet. Round robin, $5 wager, $3.26 paid out. So lost a couple bucks. Oh well. What was I doing? I was looking for the correct TikTok. Move this down real quick. Boom. ETN. Okay. Does this one show it? Okay, there. Pause this. So the year I won it, this was, let's see here. This was week 13, and this was my highest scoring team. This wasn't like my biggest lead. I had a 300-point lead practically. Well, a 250, 230-point lead. A whole week's worth of, like, my whole team could have been on bye, and he probably still wouldn't have caught up to me. So, I don't know. Yeah. I was beating them pretty bad. Like, I didn't even have a scoring quarterback. Oh, we're on the clock. We didn't grab Rome. You know, we don't have a Drake May. And I like Hunter Henry. So maybe we'll get Hunter Henry later. We're done with quarterback. We can flex it out. I should say I'm not gonna not take Ja'Cory Crockett, Merritt, you know, that dude. But I don't know. So your custom. So the furthest back it goes, February. Okay. Sort by odds. Bill Cosby. I'm not going to reach for Bill Cosby, but if he falls in where I have him ranked at, and he's like the next guy up, I'll take him. If Ray Davis is gone, I'll take him, kind of deal. Which, by the way, I still believe in Ray Davis. I feel like he got put to the wayside. Oh, my buddy, Notorious Fantasy is 39,996 subscribers. If you guys aren't fans of him, you know he's a little bit younger, got a little bit different energy than me, but he's a pretty good YouTuber. Does a lot all fantasy football type stuff. Notorious Fantasy without the A's. I don't have any Rashad Bateman. Well, I have 2% Rashad Bateman. Does he have any week 16 Drake May? Okay. Perfect. 116. 9-pick discount. Put it on the board. Put it on the board. Yes. So we're out here targeting. I'll probably reach around early. Round and a half early. Hunter Henry. Give us your top 3 teams who you believe will progress offensively from last year, and the 3 teams you believe regress. Okay. How do I look this up? Offensive ranks. NFL offensive rankings. 2024. Right? 2020. Okay, let's see here. How can I look at all of this? Team stats, offensive wise. I want to give you like the most accurate, way of looking at it, because how are you supposed to tell? Like how is this helpful at all? ESPN. Or was that NFL? That was NFL.com. You guys are fucking good. Okay, there we go. Well, give me a second. We're on the clock. I have 14 seconds. What do we have so far? We need a wide receiver. We'll go Trey Harris. We got 2 Chargers I feel good about. I did put myself in a bit of a pickle, though. All right, well, I may not get Hunter Henry. Ain't no big deal. Or do I play that the other way? Yeah, I might as well play it the other way. I'd rather have Hunter Henry than Kyle Williams. Okay, so ESPN's got me. Total offenses from last year that I think will regress. One, I didn't realize that offensively 49ers did so well. So mistakenly got that one wrong. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 3, 6. Well, one, the Chargers will do offensively better than they did previously. I want to make sure I'm not on the clock. I am on the clock. Hunter Henry. trying to find the correct line of, halfway through. Where's Carolina? Are they on the bottom half? Carolina, the Chargers, and the Seahawks. But the Seahawks might have been on the top half. But either way, I do think that they are going to be better offensively. They will rank higher than they did this previous year, if that makes any sense. The ones to go down, I think Detroit goes down a little bit. I don't think they're bad. So don't get me wrong. I don't think they're bad, but I do think that they have an offensive regression. So Detroit, oh yeah, Chicago also, by the way. I'll give you a fourth to go up. I don't know. I don't even see them. They must be towards the bottom. No, they're the last place. Chicago. Chicago is number one. Panthers and Chargers. Those are my for sure three. Seahawks I do think will be better, even though they were already on the top half. I don't think the Packers are tricky. For best ball, I don't think the Packers are going to be a team that you want, if that makes sense. They're going to be a little bit less than where they are currently, but I think they'll never be a team that you want on your team, if that makes sense. More specifically, does or Tampa, Washington do better or worse? Okay, thank you. Does Tampa? Well, Tampa only has 3 spots to go for yards per game. I think they do worse. They kind of had a crazy good run out in general. I don't think their defense will be as bad this year. I don't think it's any better, but I don't think it'll be as bad as it was last year. And then Washington, I think they're going to be pretty. Almost hit leave fucking studio. Jesus Christ. And then Washington total yards. That's tough because if it depends on Terry McLaurin plays on that team. If he plays on that team, I will say better because they had a couple additions that I liked. And if they lose Terry McLaurin, then I think worse. If they keep Terry McLaurin, better. Tampa Bay Bucks. I think they are going to do well. I do think that they're going to run the ball a little bit more now that Godwin's hurt. I don't think they're going to fling it around the yard because Evans is a little bit older. Igbuka's a rookie, coming into his own. Bucky Irving showed that he can handle a workload. They still have Rashad White and Sean Tucker there. They might utilize the run just a little bit more. Not to say they will get a ton less. I think they will regress, but they won't be on the bottom. They'll just regress a little bit in comparison to what they were this past year. Pat Bryant, welcome to the squad. Only had 3%. Jack Besh. I don't know how much you guys got. I don't have that much. K Dotton got 3%. No. Rico Daddle, I had 3%. K Dotton had 14%. A quarter of my teams have Keaton Mitchell, and a little more than a quarter of my teams have Blake Corum. I love those guys. It's my boys. Oh, you guys have not seen any of the draft. Sorry, I apologize. Oh, that's just that round. Just that round. Oh, my boy got Ray Davis. Mr. Hale. Got Ray Davis. Where's your Corey Krosky? Mr. Bill Murray go? Mr. Bill Murray. Where did he go? So I have him ranked near 130. I wouldn't take him there, but it's understandable. I probably won't get any more of him, and I'm not going to go out of my way to get him. I was using this as a reference, by the way. I was using by yards per game. I was using that. In case you were curious. Let's see here. Oh. I have a direct message, but I cannot see who it is from. If you guys send me a message, oh, there it is. Okay. I feel like he doesn't even understand that I don't Mr. Steven Urbanic. If he just popped over to my channel and just looked that I'm streaming and noticed that I haven't done a UD draft all season long, maybe he'd stop asking me to do UD stuff. Davis fell 17 spots, had to grab him. Yeah, I don't blame you. It was a good pick. It was a good pick. What am I going to draft here? Keith Mitchell. Keep it a bumping. I just realized how many 12s and 14s I got here. So running back, we have an 8 and a 9. 8, 9, and 12. We're good at running back. 7, 8, 9, and 12. That feels good. At wide receiver, we have a 9, 10, 12, 7, 12, 14, 12. So week 12 might be a little tough. Tight end, we have 12 and 14. So we're good there. Quarterbacks are 10, 12, and 14. So we're good. It just looked like a crazy amount of 12s when you see them all together and 14s. Oh, Ollie Gordon goes. One of my favorite players recently. I was in on it because our homeboy Derek talked about him one time, and I looked him up and I liked it. I can't believe I was in first or second in 92 of my 212 teams, and right after my week after my birthday. So like that'd be week 9, week 10. We're going to top off our running backs here. Get Brashard Smith. And then we're going wide receiver hunting. Doof. And then if all those players are taken, doof. All right. I have set my auto draft up. I'm just here to chat now, boys. Just here to chat. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, we need to read Sean Mitchell's report. That's what we'll do for the last little bit, unless somebody interacts with the chat, and then I will happily talk to the chat. Let me pull down the draft board, though, so we can see the last 3 picks. Did you draft Jackson Dart? No. Okay. So it's like, man, you did download the rankings because one of my favorite draft picks right now is also Jackson Dart. All right. Where are you, Sean Mitchell? 8 hours ago, the legend of Bill Murray grows. However, not first RB to begin Monday night preseason game for the Commanders versus Cincinnati. It was Chris Rodriguez. Eye emoji. A.J. Brown once again did not practice due to the hamstring injury, but he was out there today working on the side. This time, Devontae Smith joins him on the do not participate or did not practice with a new groin injury. Godare listed as limited. Eagles receiving core mighty banged up. Maybe that's why they traded for John Mechie. According to Mike McDaniel, Devin Achane is now dealing with a calf injury and is being held out this week from practice as a precaution. John Harbaugh says veteran wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins is working on his knee a bit. When asked about an injury update for the Ravens team, I never understood the love for DeAndre Hopkins. He kind of showed that he was past his prime last year, in my opinion. Minnesota, Jalen Naylor, who is set to be wide receiver 3 for the Vikings, is dealing with a hand injury and is being labeled late week to week. Lucky Jackson, anybody? Head coach Todd Bowles reportedly Jalen McMillan's neck injury. Jalen was severe neck strain, will miss some time and likely impacting the early part of the season. He got put on the PUP and is out for the first 8 weeks. Yep. Veteran Daniel Jones, a.k.a. Vanilla Vic, will take the reins with the first start of the season. Head coach Shane Steichen. Also, Steichen says this is for the season, not there is no short leash. Star wide receiver Justin Jefferson back at practice, looking to strengthen hamstrings going forward. Says this hamstring injury is not as bad as the one in 2023. And he was back in practice today. So Houston running back Dameon Pierce gets run with the starting unit alongside Nick Chubb in today's 11v11 practice, mainly pass downs. With Joe Mixon still on the shelf. Great news out of Giants camp. Both star Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatabo return to practice field Tuesday. Rashad White spotted in pads today for Buccaneers practice. Rookie Jets wide receiver Arian Smith continues to get great reports out of the Jets camp, not only from coaching staff, but also from starting quarterback Justin Fields. That's somebody I haven't taken that I might look to target here in the last couple of drafts I do. Just a couple of the Justin Fields teams that I draft. Starting quarterback Stafford was indeed a participant in Tuesday's practice, as well as good news. Yeah, whatever. Rookie Carolina wide receiver T-Mac, second straight, did not practice on Tuesday, but see on the side working with trainers. Chapter on Micah Parsons, most likely he plays this year and is franchise tag then traded. Situation doesn't seem similar to Dak or CD. Yikes. Rookie running back Ollie Gordon drumbeat is getting louder as Achane deals with calf. Jalen Wright is sputtered a bit in preseason. Xavier Hutchin in the news once again projected to play a lot as the wide receiver 3, and Nico Kirk starting unit with both Higgins and Noel Mixon in this year. Rabona, my guy. Yo, yo, yo. When are you and Eric going to collab? Feel like I haven't seen a video of you two together. I keep no, I'm not throwing any dirt at my boy because he is my boy. But I have messaged him multiple times trying to get with him to do a video. He has not gotten back to me. So I'm not, and I don't want to be the guy like, hey, just double, triple, quadruple checking. You know, I don't. He's busy. If he wants to have me on, I will happily come on. But or he's more than welcome to come here. I'm not. I'm not. I don't want to be rude and like, hey, you need to come on my show. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, me and Eric are cool. Cool enough. If anything, at the very least, you guys will get one episode at least next year of us together for our 20-year reunion. I'll be out there. I'm sure he'll be out there too. So you get 2 free chips to put in the last 2 picks of the draft. Hold up, I make sure get mine. Somebody in the queue at least, right? Damian Pierce is still in the queue. Perfect. Man, a lot of my queue got taken. Thankfully, that was the last pick. One second, let's read this off, guys. Last 2 picks of the draft. Each chip is worth a milli if your chosen player finishes the season at the highest scoring for the ADP. Who are you putting your chips on? 2. So you're saying last 2 picks of the ADP here, and it has to be essentially a league winner. That's tricky. Right now, I'd put my basket on KLS here. I think he's gonna be the wide receiver by the end of the season. The way that they're talking about him, the way he's performed, I say he's gonna be wide receiver 2 by the end of the summer or by the end of the season. Damian Pierce, low key, could be a league winner. It depends on like if we get some better reporting on the Mixon injury. Jackson Dart also. Oh, so I won't just give you 2. I'll give you 4. I'm going to give you 1 at every position. Quarterback, Jackson Dart, hands down, could easily be the league winner at week 17. You know, if as long as you have 2 other quarterbacks to start your season, I think at some point Jackson Dart gets in there and he runs a bunch and he has a great connection with Neighbors. At the running back position, if Keaton Mitchell was allowed as a pick here, I'd pick Keaton Mitchell. If not, Damian Pierce as my last round pick in this draft. Just because of the uncertainty, or Ollie Gordon. But Ollie Gordon went a little bit ahead of here as well. So we'll go with Damian Pierce as the last 2 rounds. At wide receiver, we'll put KLS. And then for tight end, Chafin Sanders was earlier. I'm just looking at these last 2 rounds. I wouldn't touch any of these. Harold Fannin was probably the closest players, tight end. The player that maybe you'd want is Ben Sinnott. Like, there's nothing that's showing that he's gonna ever like take this job. But if we're gonna be completely honest, I think at some point during this season he takes over the job. At some point. And maybe that's wishful casting or whatnot, but at some point. And if anything happens to Tucker Kraft, I mean, I would say Luke Musgrave, but there's still so many wide receivers there, he might still fall into the hole that's there. I get the sense he's very Hollywood, very strange stuff. Yeah, I want to, you know, he's busy. He's running a company, you know, over there, Spike Week. So I'm sure he's just busy. He gets tons of messages. I'm not holding it against him. Yeah, yeah. I, playing with Blind Four was a lot of fun. I actually have DVDs of like the games that we played together, like the old recordings. They're not great, so I will spare you guys uh, the video. But uh, yeah, dude, he was a cool dude. We didn't ever hang out in football. It was I hung out with the linemen, because that's that's what you did. You didn't really hang out with the quarterbacks and whatnot. There was one time. It was me. It was eighth grade year. We got to go to Six Flags, which I was in school suspension, and they said, "Oh, you know what? Get out of here." Like I guess I spent my entire eighth grade year in school suspension, and it sounds worse than it actually was. I just didn't do my homework, and as punishment, they would send me an in school suspension. For some reason, they maybe thought that I would do my homework there, but there was another kid in there. His name was Ricky, and that dude was always sleeping. And I would just act like I was doing my homework, put my hand to my head, and I'd just be hanging out with him. Um, then they put me in before school detention to get me to do for some reason, they really thought that homework was the key to my life. Uh, I never did my homework. I just thought that was silly. But anyways, besides the point, a rant off a rant off a rant. We got to go to Six Flags, and it's probably the only time I ever hung out with Eric. And it was me, him, another wide receiver, and another offensive lineman, Tim Kessler. And we all hung out together. That was the only time I ever hung out with Eric Bonfour in real life. It was the Six Flags trip, and I was just trying to pick up the ladies. I don't know if he remembers that, but I was just going around trying to pick up girls because I was a bit of a player back then, or I wanted to be. Oh man, eighth grade. What a time to be alive. Alrighty, let's go ahead and read off this team and call it a night. Call it a night. All right. So we'll go with our buddy Robert Hale out of the 7th spot first. He got Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, James Cook, T-Mac, Ibuka Golden. So a little rookie wide receiver run. Jordan Addison, Tyrone Tracy, David Njoku, J.J. McCarthy, Jordan Love, Scatabo, Austin Eckler, Ray Davis, Jerome Ford, Gesicki, Tesla, Pat Fryermuth, KLS, and Kendre Miller. I love the Kendre. I've been off of Kendre, but I feel like I should be on Kendre. I just haven't drafted him. But that could be something that bites me in the butt. Is the last 2 years being on him, and then this year being off, and he's gonna pop off. I've had that a few times where I've been on a player like for 2 or 3 years in a row. I finally get off of them, and then they have their explosion, like the year that I always thought they could have. Yeah, I like the build. I don't think you have anything to worry about at all, but because Ibuka should get playing time early, T-Mac should be playing early. And as far as I know, Golden's gonna be playing early. But you are taking a chance that they might have a slower start. And then with Jordan Addison, maybe, because over half the receivers are rookies. You could be looking at a slower start, but I don't think that'll hurt you. I think you'll have a strong finish at the wide receiver that you'll be kind of unstoppable if you get in. Running back wise, I'm not in on James Cook or Tyrone Tracy, but for what they are, that's solid. And you backed it up with Scatabo, so I like that personally. I know that a lot of people don't like it when you back your running backs up, but I actually think this is perfect. Like, if either of them go down, you're set there. This is a great advancing team, running back wise, and potentially like good enough because your wide receivers are going to carry this team. All you need is just good enough at your running back position with the high spike week potential that I think that this team has. for sure. And if anything happens to Kamara, you're set there. Tight end wise, you got Njoku. The other guys are kind of washed because of what they've brought into the teams, but Njoku should be able to hold off on it for you. All right, and then I went Gibbs, Bucky Irving, Marion Hampton. 3 running backs, shouldn't have to worry about it. Drafted a few extras just because, or I drafted 1 extra than I normally do, just because I like them. Devontae Smith, Rashee Rice, Deebo Samuel. A bit of a reach here. See if I could get Hurts. Just that was a play of the game, not really a stand-up making. Deebo Samuel, and then I went with Pat Mahomes, Bo Nix, Evan Ingram, Drake May. So I was going to my quarterback range a little early this time. Usually start at pick 9, but I had Rashee Rice, and I hadn't paired the 8% Rashee Rice with any of my Pat Mahomes shares. So I thought I'd do that on this team. Got Bo Nix, hoping that I can get Evan Ingram. Got him. And then it's like I had 4% Drake May, or I don't remember how much Drake May I had. I didn't have a lot of Drake May. And so I wanted to bump that up a little bit. Got Bateman past ADP, about 9 picks past ADP. Pairs up with Drake May in week 16. Correlating piece with Marion Hampton, Trey Harris. Then I grabbed Hunter Henry early, thinking that Kyle Williams had the better chance to fall down. He did. Then I got Pat Bryant, who had, 5 catches for 80 yards or 70 yards, something like that. He looked pretty good this past week. And then Keaton Mitchell, one of the running backs I'm probably most high on. If there's any kind of regression in Derrick Henry's bag, it could be for the benefit of Keaton Mitchell. Bashard Smith, just betting on the upside of a Kansas City running back that's not named Pacheco. Jalen Noel for the Week 17 bring back with the Chargers. Kayshon Boutte pairing up with the rest of my Patriots. I think once Boutte regresses or whatnot, Kyle Williams steps in. I feel like they're going to tandem one another. Like if he's out, Kyle Williams steps in and becomes the guy. I just don't know when that'll happen. So I'd rather have the safety of Boutte. And then Dameon Pierce, who I believe is a number 1 running back on the team until I hear otherwise of Dameon. If Joe Mixon says he's coming back week 3, I'm going to stop taking Dameon Pierce. But until I hear that, I'm going to take Dameon Pierce in the 20th. I think I advance. I think Robert advances. I don't know about these other teams. I did not check their teams. Wasn't really keeping track. But at worst, I think both Robert and I are at least in the top half and are competing. I don't think we're getting blown out in this lobby. I saw some bad mistakes by some of the drafters, but I won't point them out because it's not polite. And what the hell do I know? I've had 2 losing seasons. 2 non-advancing seasons. What's that called? Like where you don't have the correct amount. I'm out, brother. Oh, okay, lover, man, genius. I'll see you later, man. 4:30 comes early here on the East Coast. Yes, tell me about it, man. I get to 5:30. I'm not too far behind you. Thanks for the banter. Don't think I've ever double handcuffed before, but both Scatabo and Davis were values. Figured why not? Have a good night. You have a solid team. Appreciate it. Yeah. Pretty excited about my team. I like the double handcuff team. And yeah, if you get them at values, it only makes sense. Yes. Before we get out of here, do a little bit of promoing for my own stuff. In the link below in the description, I believe I have the Patreon membership thing. It's $5. It's really to support me. I do have ranks in that I put in fairly frequently. There's a ESPN league that's only going to be up. I'm going to close it this weekend. It's free to get in if you jump into the membership. If you win, it's $200 to the winner. If you come in second place to me, if I win the whole thing and you're in second place, you also get $200. It's only if you only get if you're second place to me, you get the $200. It doesn't really matter if you get first place, you get the $200 unless you come in second to me. There's also previous podcasts where I get to know people from the industry, aka other best ballers and whatnot. I've been thinking about just doing that as a gateway to get to know more people in the industry and not do drafts with them. So maybe expect more podcasts like settings during the season, so that way we can get to know other people in the industry and see what their exposures were, maybe look at their teams and whatnot. I think that might be what we do this fall as well. Yeah. And that's about it for the Patreon. If you guys do want to sign up, it is patreon.com/bestballnation. Again, it's $5. I mean, we're out here doing thousands of drafts. You have $5 to spend for your favorite creator, and then give me a shout out when you win the whole thing using my ranks. Much appreciated. Anything else? I don't think we have anything else today. We'll be back tomorrow with whatever promo they're doing, unless it's a 555. I ain't putting out money for that. It's kind of not out of the budget, but it's like not really in my current budget of how I want to spend things, because I do plan on putting about $1,000 down for week 1 of DFS, and I'm a low budget baller. I hate putting down a lot of money. All right, it has been fun. It has been real. It has been real fun. Later, guys.